Ladies and gentlemen, this is Intervlog. I say this is Intervlog, the channel where we unravel the stories that connect and divide nations, analyze policies shaping our world, and explore how these dynamics impact the lives of everyday people. Today, we're diving into a story that's making headlines and raising important questions about freedom of movement, regional integration, and national sovereignty within West Africa. The topic? Senegal's recent decision to close its borders to Malian card holders. Now, for those who might not be familiar with the specifics, the NINA card, short for Numéro d'Identification National, is a national identification document issued by the Malian government. For years, it has played a significant role in facilitating mobility for Malian citizens across borders, particularly within the Economic Community of West African States, or Ecowas. But this is where the situation gets complicated. Just a week ago, Senegal announced that it would no longer recognize the Malian NINA card as a valid travel document for entry into its territory. Instead, Senegal's authorities insist that only two forms of identification will suffice: the Ecowas biometric card or the Ecowas passport, for Malians looking to cross into Senegal for work, trade, education, or family reunions. This abrupt change has introduced significant hurdles. The immediate impact? Many Malians, without these specific documents, are now unable to enter Senegal, a move that has sparked diplomatic tensions, personal frustrations, and broader conversations about regional cooperation in West Africa. At Intervlog, we're all about examining the why and how behind the headlines. So let's take a step back and look at the broader context. Ecowas was established with the vision of fostering economic cooperation, political stability, and free movement among its 15 member states. These principles are enshrined in ECOWAS protocols, which allow citizens to travel visa-free within the region, using simplified documentation. In theory, this framework supports the seamless movement of people and goods, which is essential for regional development. Yet the recent actions by Senegal challenge this ideal. What could be driving such a firm stance? According to Senegalese authorities, the decision is rooted in concerns over documentation integrity and standardization. The Ecowas biometric card and passport adhere to stricter security measures, which they argue are crucial for maintaining border integrity and preventing misuse. But is this purely a matter of security? Or are there deeper political and economic undercurrents shaping this decision? Could it be tied to evolving dynamics between Mali and Senegal, especially given Mali's current transitional government and its diplomatic recalibrations in the region? The Malian authorities haven't taken this decision lightly. Reports indicate that they've made concerted efforts to negotiate with Senegal, seeking some form of compromise or transitional arrangement. Unfortunately, these efforts have been met with categorical refusal. Senegal remains steadfast. Without the Ecowas biometric card or passport, entry is not permitted. For Malians affected by this policy, the situation is more than just a bureaucratic inconvenience. It touches livelihoods, disrupts families, and strains social and economic ties that have long connected these neighboring countries. For traders, students, and travelers, this decision has created a barrier where once there was none. At Intervlog, we believe stories like these aren't just about policies, they're about people. So, in today's episode, we'll not only analyze the political and diplomatic implications of Senegal's decision, but also hear from those most directly impacted. What does this mean for Malians who relied on the NINA card for cross-border movement? How are businesses and communities adapting? We'll also explore the potential long-term effects on regional unity. Can ECOWAS survive and thrive when its members adopt such rigid and unilateral stances? What does this mean for the dream of a truly borderless West Africa? So, whether you're passionate about African geopolitics, concerned about human rights, or simply curious about how policies shape our world, stay tuned. And as always, we invite you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section. How do you feel about this development? Should Senegal have handled things differently? Or is this a necessary step to ensure secure and standardized cross-border travel? This is Intervlog, where stories meet perspectives, and together we build understanding. Let's dive in. Senegal closes its borders to Malian NINA cardholders. The Senegalese state has refused to recognize the NINA map of Mali for a week. According to the Senegalese authorities, only the Ecowas biometric card or the Ecowas passport are valid. Any other Malian NINA cards are not recognized. In order for Malians to move freely in Senegal, they must present a passport or biometric card of the Ecowas. The Malian authorities have tried everything to negotiate this situation, but the Senegal state is categorically refusing to make concessions. They firmly insist, without the Ecowas biometric card or the Ecowas passport, a Malian cannot enter Senegal. Speech by His Excellency Assimi Goïta, President of Mali, on the impact of Senegal's refusal to recognize the Malian NINA card. Today, I speak to you not just as your president, but as a fellow Malian who feels the weight of a situation that deeply affects us all. Over the past week, Senegal has taken a step that has left many of us troubled and frustrated. They've decided to stop recognizing our NINA card as a valid form of identification for entering their country. Instead, they're demanding that Malians present an Ecowas biometric card or an Ecowas passport at the border. This decision has caused confusion, distress, and a lot of hardship for our people. Ordinary people trying to cross into Senegal for work, to see family, to trade, or to access education and healthcare. Let's take a moment to reflect on what this means, not just for those directly impacted, but for our country and the entire region. First, we must acknowledge the bigger picture. At its heart is the belief that the people of West Africa should move freely, work together, and build a future without unnecessary barriers. But this decision by Senegal strikes at the heart of those values. By rejecting our NINA card, a document recognized in other countries, they're undermining the trust and collaboration. Imagine what could happen if other countries followed this example. Wouldn't it make travel and trade across our region more difficult? It's a slippery slope, one that threatens to undo decades of efforts to bring our countries closer together. They make it harder for us to trade, to grow, and to create jobs for our people. Now let's talk about the human side of this issue. This decision isn't just about policies or papers. It's about people. Families who are separated by borders are now struggling to reconnect. Picture a father trying to visit his children or a young student eager to join a university in Senegal. Suddenly they're being told, "You can't come in because your NINA card isn't good enough." A strain on our friendship with Senegal, Mali, and Senegal have a shared history. We're not just neighbors, we're partners with deep cultural and familial ties. Many of us have relatives in Senegal, and many Senegalese have roots here in Mali. So, when a decision like this is made, it doesn't just hurt diplomatically, it feels personal. It creates tensions where there should be understanding. We've tried to negotiate. We've reached out to Senegal's leadership in good faith, asking them to reconsider, or at the very least, to work with us on a transitional plan. But so far they've refused to budge. This refusal to engage in dialogue is disappointing. It's not how neighbors should treat each other. For many Malians, the NINA card is a lifeline. It's accessible and affordable, especially for people in rural areas where administrative services are harder to reach. By rejecting the NINA card, Senegal is essentially saying you need to pay more and go through more bureaucracy to prove who you are. This isn't just unfair, it's a burden that many Malians can't bear. Let me be clear, this is not just about crossing a border. This is about respect. The NINA card represents our identity as Malians. It's a symbol of our sovereignty and our right to be treated with dignity. When another country refuses to recognize it, they're not just rejecting a document. They're rejecting what it stands for. And that's something we cannot and will not accept. We're here for you. My fellow Malians, This is a challenging time, but it's also a moment for us to come together. Let's stand united in the face of this injustice. Let's support one another, whether it's by sharing information, helping someone navigate the documentation process, or simply standing in solidarity with those who are struggling. To our Senegalese brothers and sisters, I say this: we are not enemies. We are neighbors with a shared destiny. This issue does not have to divide us. Let us return to the principles of dialogue, understanding, and mutual respect. To the Senegalese leadership, I urge you to reconsider this decision. Let's work together to find a solution that strengthens our bonds rather than weakens them. In closing, I want to remind all of you of the strength and resilience of the Malian people. We've faced challenges before, and we've always risen above them. This moment is no different. Together, we will overcome this obstacle. We will protect our dignity, defend our rights, and build a Mali that commands respect, not just in our region, but across the world. May God bless Mali, and may He guide us toward peace and understanding with our neighbors. Thank you. This is the end of our program today. See you on Vlog, same time, tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get new video updates. Thank you for watching Vlog. Thank you.